Welcome to Rock DIY or Do It You. If you do it, then it's all you. I can give you a review of this product based on what everybody else has said about it, but I'd much rather give a product review based on my own experience over the last year and a half being a first-time purchaser of this product. Before going into the video review later, I want to cover some additional items that aren't discussed later on up front. I did pay around $500 for this chipper shredder. I've used a chipper shredder in the past, but this is the first one I've owned. I bought it due to cutting down 16 black walnut trees that were on our property. The chipper shredder does have adjustable speed, but when I use it, I typically keep it all the way up just to avoid having any jams inside the shredder, regardless of what I'm shredding. The brakes on it, mine, the wheels still move even though the brakes are on. And I think also along with the vibration, the shredder tends to move about on its own, but I typically use logs to keep it in place. As stated before, I've had this chipper shredder for about a year and a half. I don't really recall exactly when I noticed the blades were becoming dull, but one of the things I discovered is that the chipper blades are not kept in stock at Harbor Freight. If you want them, you have to actually order them and have them shipped to the store for pickup. Rather than ordering the new blades, I decided that I would sharpen the blades with a grinder. The blades currently go for around $17 if you order them from Harbor Freight. I wouldn't say that the bag for the chipper shredder is substandard, only based off the amount that I have used this chipper shredder, but I have done quite a few repairs on it. If you were to order one, it would cost you around $17. To this day, I still have not had an issue with starting the chipper shredder. Typically when I pull the start, it starts right up without any issues. One issue that I've had with the tires is that they constantly lose air pressure, and once they lose air pressure, it's very difficult to move the chipper shredder around. I don't like where the filler drain is on the chipper shredder. If you have to put oil into it, it's just in a bad spot. In order to get oil in, you got to use a funnel with a long hose in order to get the oil in, but then you end up getting oil all over the place, and then you got to do quite a bit of cleanup. Don't ever stand directly in front of the branch feeder or directly over the top feeder, because you will definitely get hit with debris. Before shutting down the shredder, always make sure that everything has cleared out of it. Otherwise, it could end up jammed, especially when you try to restart it. If there's something in there, you're going to have issues. When you're not using the chipper shredder, I highly recommend that you use a board to cover the top feeder, and then just cover it with a tarp. It helps keep debris and animals out of it. As with any piece of machinery that has exposed moving parts, don't wear any loose clothing, and make sure you wear personal protective equipment such as ear protection, eye protection, and gloves. I'm not a huge fan of Harbor Freight products, but on occasion I have been able to get some products that have worked really well. In fact, this Predator 212cc chipper shredder has more than paid for itself. This chipper has a front feeder for branches up to 3 inches. It also has a top feeder for anything up to 1/2 inch diameter. If you're using this on flat ground, it's pretty easy to move around. But if you happen to work on a slope or live on property that has sloped land, it is a pain in the butt to move around. You do have to check the chipper out quite a bit, especially if you're operating it a lot, because I've had it for a year and a half now, and on occasion I'll find nuts, bolts, screws missing. Depending on how long you actually operate the chipper, you do have to check the air filter quite often, because depending on how heavy your usage is, the air filter will get clogged pretty quickly. If you start to notice that your chipper is not doing so well as far as cutting branches, one of the things that you can do is remove all these bolts around the housing. Once you remove these bolts, it'll give you access to the actual chipper inside. I don't know how well you can see this, but one of the actual cutting blades is right there, and there's two of them. You can purchase these, or you can actually remove them and sharpen them yourself. Just depends on your skill set. This is the chute for where the actual debris comes out of the chipper. You can either leave it like this so that it shoots the debris but makes a pretty good mess, or you can use the bag that attaches to the chute. This bag actually isn't that great. I've had to re-sew it several times now. And then also this little piece right here isn't very great as far as cinching it down on the chute. The bottom of the bag actually goes right under this piece, like that. And then the top portion goes over the little gate on the chute, up around this area right here. This is what it looks like once the bag is over the chute. Thanks for watching my video. I truly appreciate it. Hopefully the video was useful in your plans for a future DIY project. Please like, comment, or subscribe. Thanks again.